Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Saturn in our birth charts and what it represents. If you're not sure where Saturn was placed during your time of birth, there is a birth chart link down below. If you do not have your time of birth, you can check the Saturn table to find out where Saturn was placed during your time of birth. Saturn is known as a malefic planet, which means that Saturn brings challenges and obstacles into our lives. Unlike Jupiter, where Jupiter expands and brings about lots of luck and blessings, Saturn restricts us. It sets limitations, boundaries, and restrictions on our lives. Saturn is also known as the planet of karma, and is also known as the planet of the ultimate rewards. Saturn rules time. It is very slow moving. It takes Saturn about 28 years to orbit the sun. Saturn loves structure, discipline, and authority. Saturn is the natural ruler of Capricorn. Capricorn is the natural ruler of the 10th house of status. It is our public persona. So Saturn actually represents a very important part of our life. It is the peak of our chart. It is what we want the world to see us as. That is what Saturn represents. Wherever Saturn sits in your birth chart, that's the area of your life that you want the world to see you as amazing in that area. However, Saturn will not make it easy for you. Saturn will make you struggle. Saturn will make you feel like you cannot achieve in this area of your life. No matter how hard you try, no matter what sacrifices you make, you will feel like you cannot achieve in this area of your life. But that's not true. Have you ever heard someone say that when your Saturn returns, that is when you should get married? That is when you should put in for that special type job that you always wanted? Well, the reason why they're saying that is because when your Saturn returns, usually around the age of 27 through 30, that is when you've matured. That's when you should have learned the lessons of Saturn, and now you're ready to receive the blessings of Saturn. Because a lot of times if you do something that's major in your life before your Saturn returns, then you're probably gonna have to go back and redo it, depending on where Saturn sits. The house that Saturn sits in your birth chart is very important. And also to look at the houses that Saturn is looking at, the houses that Saturn is aspecting as well, because these are the areas of your life where you're going to face the most challenges and obstacles, okay? So those of you who are new to the channel, welcome to the channel, and I hope that you will subscribe and also share my content. Let's get into the video. Saturn and Virgo. Saturn and Virgo, this is like a really comfortable position for Saturn. Virgo is an earth sign that naturally rules the 6th house. Virgos, how you guys are doing? Saturn helps Virgos' intellectual abilities to be amplified, actually. They are extremely intelligent in a structured type of way. I feel like Saturn and Virgos are the type of people when it comes to business. They're extremely intelligent here, okay? They have a very practical mindset when Saturn comes into the sign of Virgo. They can also be very organized and methodical in terms of how they analyze situations, you know, how they deal with a situation. They become analysts. They are the analyst. Like Saturn and Virgos, they work very hard and diligently to reach their goals in terms of career and success. Now, Virgo is the sign of service, which means that Virgos sometimes they can work a lot harder, especially when Saturn is in the sign of Virgo. They have to work harder to achieve success in life sometimes, but the thing about it is when success comes, they hold on to it a lot longer than most people would, you know, if they had another planet in the sign of Virgo. Now, Saturn and Virgos in their younger life, in their earlier years, they could have suffered from ailments, like childhood ailments, like maybe they had like some type of, let's just say maybe they were anemic, you know, maybe they had like, that's a blood disorder in a sense, I think, iron deficiency. Maybe they actually would always get sick with, maybe they always caught the pink eye, or they always got chicken, you know, not chicken pox, but what is it called? Poison ivy. You know, if there was something that was going around, Saturn and Virgos, they probably got it, and they probably had low energy or something like that when they were really young. They didn't want to go outside and play all the time. Maybe they were allergic to the sun. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, and however it resonates with you, there was something about you in your childhood that made you feel like you didn't have the best childhood. And also, Saturn and Virgos could have gotten teased or picked on by their peers in school, and it really bothered them because they had the nature of a Virgo to worry about themselves, you know, not being perfect, not being good enough. So it was always instilled in them from birth. So going to school and having people to tease and pick on them, it really hit a Saturn and Virgo in the heart. Okay, so also they could have had parents who were very critical, like kind of like always made a big deal about them not doing a really good job, and or maybe they had a parent that made them do a really good job. And so as they grow up in life, they strive for perfection, and everything that they do, they strive for perfection. And if they feel like they're not doing a really good job or a perfect job, it really upsets them. They worry about it. A lot of times they can say something and it's not even bad, and then they'll go back and they'll think about it. Maybe I should have said it this way. Oh, I should have did it this way. And they will like literally worry themselves into a frenzy about what they could have said but didn't say, because what they could have said would have been more perfect than what they said. But in all actuality, Saturn and Virgos, what you said, it was perfect. It was what you were supposed to say at that moment, because if it wasn't, then you would not have said that. So don't worry so much about what you could have done. Like, if you've already done it, hey, it's done. You can't change it, you know, just keep moving forward. It's okay. Only you are thinking about it, probably, in all actuality. Saturn and Virgo type people, sometimes they get really upset or they feel some type of way if a person does not agree with them. And the reason why is because Saturn and Virgos, they've thought about everything. They've analyzed every detail of a situation, like to the very core. And now they've put it back together, and their analysis is almost near perfection. So when they present it to someone, they feel like they should understand all the hard work that they put into getting this analysis, and they should respect it. But when people don't respect it, it makes them feel some type of way. And I mean, they can actually get upset with people because of the simple fact they don't agree. Saturn and Virgos, you have to understand that only you would take the time to truly analyze the situation the way you analyze situations. Other people don't care as much about it. So when they don't agree with you, it's not because they feel like you're just 100% wrong. It's just that they have their own opinion, just like you. Because although you did all this work and research, it still doesn't make it fact-based. It's still your opinion. It's still your interpretation of a situation. So you have to learn to accept that and respect that, okay? I feel like Saturn and Virgos, when they were really young, they had a fear of death, because Virgo is polar opposite to Pisces, where Virgo is the servant unto man and Pisces is the servant unto God. So Saturn and Virgos, they feared death when they were young. Maybe they thought about it a lot, and they were just really fearful. They feared the unknown. They always had a fear of the unknown, because Saturn and Virgos, they want to be in control of a situation, because they feel like if they're in control of the situation, then they can be okay. They can be stable here, right? But in all actuality, you can never be completely in control of a situation. It's just not possible. However, as Saturn and Virgos get older, they learn to embrace death. They learn to understand it, because throughout their life, they've analyzed the whole process of the transition of death in a particular sense. I would say that, okay? Now, of course, this will differ for each particular Virgo, Saturn and Virgo person, depending on your aspects. But wherever Virgo goes, it is going to take that 6th house quality with them. And then with Saturn being the ruler of Virgo in your chart, then you're gonna have this type of energy. It's just something that's kind of like unavoidable, okay? But as they get older, I just feel like they learn to embrace the things that they cannot change. They learn to accept them, and to, you know, just understand that it is, what's the word? Like death itself is inevitable. And so they learn to accept it. They learn to not fear it so much. Now, one thing here, and for me, I feel like that's the obstacle that Saturn brings for Saturn and Virgo, is the fear of the unknown. But you shouldn't fear the unknown. Just don't worry about it, because what's unknown to you, there's no need to fear it, because just allow your life to unfold the way that it unfolds. Each day, just realize it's a new day. It's a new opportunity. It's a new beginning. Don't worry about what hasn't happened, because you're gonna ruin the very moment that you're standing in right now, worrying about what could possibly come or not come. So you can't waste your time or your day or your energy worrying about the unknown. And I do feel like that's a factor for Saturn and Virgos. Also, you know, the fear of not being perfect, or just not doing your very best. You know, when you give your very best, that's all you can give. You can't give any more, okay, Virgos? You just cannot. Around the age of 26 to 30, around this age frame, this is when your Saturn returns. And I do feel like Saturn and Virgos, they actually begin to see their life change. They start stabilizing their life. They start stabilizing their mindset, especially in terms of their work. You know, how they work in this world, how they serve in this world. They begin to become a lot more stable here in their life. Saturn and Virgos, for around the age of 31 to 35-ish, I do feel like they begin to understand themselves a lot more. They start to just like let things go and not worry so much about things, because around this age, I feel like they realize that when they get really upset, it really messes with their digestive system. You know, it's just really, you know, they may get so upset, or so they worry so much. I gotta use the bathroom, I have to regurgitate, I have to do this. And they're learning to control, you know, their emotions. They're learning to control their worrisome nature, in a sense, because they understand their bodies a lot more, and they're understanding themselves a lot more around this time frame. Now, I do feel like around the ages of, I would say probably around 40 to 42, this is when Saturn and Virgos can kind of like feel like they're a little bit more on easy street in terms of love, in terms of their career, in terms of their financial situations. I feel like they're actually finding that stability. This is where they have actually, especially if you've mastered your Saturn, around this time, this is when you can see the fruition of your work. You know, like you work so hard throughout your whole life, because Saturn and Virgos probably started working very young and they've worked throughout their whole life. And I feel like around the ages of 40 and 42, this is when they actually start seeing the fruition of their hard work and their dedication that they have put out into the universe. And at this point, I feel like they're very secure within themselves and their ability to achieve in this world. So Saturn and Virgos, if you guys have not reached your Saturn return and you feel like life has been difficult, life has been hard, just remember that this is a really good position for success, okay? This is a really good position for you to just really elevate yourself, but you really won't see the benefits or the true fruition of your hard work until around the ages of 40. Like in your late 30s, early 40s, this is when you'll really see your life really take form the way that you've always hoped that it would take form, okay? So I really hope this helps you guys out, and until the next time, you guys, I wish you so much love, peace, and so many wonderful blessings. Bye.